So this week we watched Independence Day. That is what won the poll. I was kind of disappointed because I was like, what a typical 4th of July movie. I kind of wanted something a little out of there, right? Then I'm rewatching it, and the beginning of it's like decent, it's good, and everything like that. And I'm like, okay, it's good, it's classic, it's whatever. And then we start to get a little later on, and then the speech happens. The speech drops. I'm just like, I'm fucking in it. I'm fucking in it. This movie's a fucking legend. Let's fucking go.
Why don't they make movies engaging like this anymore? Like, the visuals aren't perfect, but they hold up surprisingly well. The movie's engaging from the get-go in a very short, quick scenes. They get you involved with every single character. Nice. There we go. Wait. America. Okay, we're good.
Yeah. Pretty realistic thing that happened in the beginning. I mean, we got a Marine that tries to marry a stripper. Like, come on. only thing.
Story as old as time.
Only it's an option. It's more enlisted type of stuff. But like,
I'm waiting for Seabats to comment on all this too. Wait,
Seabats, do you have something to tell us?
What do you know about the driftwood? If you knew anything about Camp Lejeune, that'd be
I thought Donald Trump did a fantastic job in this movie.
We will not vanish without a fight. We will not go quietly into the night. No, we won't. Absolutely not.
I said to myself, these aliens are terrible at what they're doing. If it was me, I would just...
They're the ugliest aliens. The ugliest. We have the best lasers you've never seen.
You can see their shoddy technology. All we did was give them a cold and it was over. That's America for you.
Frankly, we have Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum.
Okay, the Donald Trump impressions. Jesus Christ.
Never.
Got to cut in there. I mean, hey, it's nice they had like a young president. It's like just opposing, current day stuff. So that was interesting.
Oh, it was so weird. I'm like, whoa, wow, he's like a third the age of those guys up there. What's going on?
Actual sentences? What?
Imagine a young, competent, like heroic president. Wow, that would be something to say, wouldn't it?
Did you guys notice that he basically became like what an ideal leader should be? Like, they were very on the nose with like everything in this movie. They weren't sugarcoating it or hiding it.
No.
Yeah. Like at the warrior leader.
Like the ideal president by the end of the movie,
When I was a kid, I did not expect him to be getting on the jet, even as a child. I'm like, he's the president. He doesn't do that. Oh, okay. I'm down.
Well, before we go farther, Emily, why don't you do your little roll up of the movie, huh?
Absolutely. So for those of you that have not seen this movie, it's definitely, we'll decide whether or not it's worth watching, but the summary is the aliens are coming and their goal is to invade and destroy Earth. Fighting superior technology, mankind's best weapon is the will to survive. Coming July 3rd, 1996. So that's when that movie released. I adjusted for inflation. I thought this would be a better metric than using the actual numbers because I think it was like 70 million and then 600 or something. In today money, it would have been about 146 million to make, and then it brought in right around 1.6 billion. Impressive numbers, just like a 2 hour and just
not
like a 2 hour and
1.776 billion.
Yes. Now, IMDb, 7 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, 75%. It was a 59 on Metacritic and a 4.8 on Amazon. And actually, the 59% on Metacritic, I'm learning that as critical of a movie watcher as I am, apparently I'm actually fairly easy compared to some of these pros. One said, the action is fast, furious, and loaded with explosive effects, but the theme is a regrettable return to the us against them paranoia that dominated much science fiction in the Cold War era. Aww.
I bet his wife cheats. I bet his wife cheats. All I'm saying.
Another review,
I was like, this woman cheats.
Spoilers, but another review, they were mad that the aliens didn't win. So they didn't like it.
That is the most grass-eating, toe-licking, degenerate Seattleite thing I've ever heard.
So this movie was directed by Roland Emmerich, also known for The Day After Tomorrow and Godzilla 98, and starring Will Smith, Jeff Goldblum, and as AC alluded to, DJT himself, a.k.a.
He also did Stargate. That must not be ignored.
Oh, really?
Hazardous
It didn't
Work,
pop
yeah.
up as one of his like notable movies. That should have been the first one.
Yeah.
I know it's one of my favorite sci-fi films. Anyway, moving on.
It's in the zeitgeist, yeah.
So that's the rundown.
Let's run down. Thank you.
Tremendous.
Well, so I mean, starting off, like the movie was decent, right? Will Smith was pretty good throughout. Like he helped the movie going throughout.
You lost
like-
me at only decent.
Well, it wasn't until like the speech happens, and then the speech happens, and we're like, okay, this just bumps the movie up into S tier. Like it just starts to pull all that like decent stuff all together, and now it all feels worth it.
Even at like a storytelling level, having 4 main characters with 4 different stories that kind of converge, that's impressive.
Yeah.
You got
That's
the
a hard
president, you
thing
got
to
the
do,
Marine,
yeah.
you got just kind of the scientists and they're all kind of getting together at the end.
Yep.
The whole you have everyone the whole party's there.
Yep. And
You gotta
it
process
has,
it.
it has that narrative momentum. It has that narrative momentum like, oh, look, we're all together. Now what? Wink, wink. What do you think's going to happen? Wink, wink.
Well,
And
it's
like, yeah, time to kick some ass, you know?
Well, look at some of the short scenes in the very beginning. Like they have some of these very short scenes that really endear you to the characters very, very quickly. And it feels like they don't know how to do that anymore, unless it's like we're going to give them a quirk, and then that'll be their thing.
I love the kid being an opportunist. Like I just don't want to die a virgin.
Oh, that kid! I'm like, you're the most 50-year-old American child I've ever seen.
Well played, dude. Well
I'm
played.
glad you brought that up, Bats, because I was just gonna say, so there's a lot of tinfoil that went through my mind a little bit when I was watching this. I was like, there's some like this is
Oh
like
my
clear propaganda in some ways, but like the good kind, where it's like it's bolstering American confidence in like our community and our culture and stuff. But at the same time, it's like, oh, okay, so the Air Force needs pilots, and all their stuff is malfunctioning. Interesting. So they need us to enlist and give them money. Oh, okay.
There's some
and we
plot
should-
convenience.
Well, hold on. And then you brought up the Divergent guy. So it's like it was the beginning and the end, right? There's the bad boyfriend at the beginning saying, "You don't want to die a virgin, do you?" And then at the end, she's like, "I don't want to die a virgin." And he's a good boyfriend, so he's like, "Well, then we'll die together," because that's not what it's about, right? And it's kind of like very pro marriage. And
10 minutes later, he's like, "Damn it!" Don't.
But yeah, you know what I mean, though. Like I don't know. It was I think everybody got together for this movie, if you know what I mean. Like literally everybody. Yeah.
It's just really uplifting. Really uplifting story.
No,
but
I
I like how they get
overall.
the vet right in the beginning. That's kind of, I mean, like he definitely did not see aliens. He definitely did not get abducted, but is still sad because you can assume that what he did in Vietnam was probably worthy of glory, but now he's just a crazy vet due to his PTSD.
Yeah. Right.
Well, like that's
What
the
was
question. Did he actually get? I think he actually got abducted. At least.
I think
in
so,
the-
too.
No, I don't think he got abducted.
Oh,
I
for sure he got
absolutely-
abducted.
I'm with Kahuna.
He definitely got abducted.
He
Mhm.
definitely did.
He got like third knuckle on one of those like 14-inch fingers, man. I promise you.
Oh, well, maybe the real life one did. That was originally before I saw the movie. The movie made me like fuck yeah, America. I'm like, okay, I'm putting the flags back here. But before that, I was gonna put. Did you like ever hear about him in that porno?
No.
Randy
He made
Quaid?
like he made like a homemade video, and it kind of blew up because of how psycho it was. But
Well, here's the thing. What version did you all watch? Because the version I had it was the part of the
of
5
the home
star
video.
Oh, it
I'm
was a
just kidding.
DVD.
I'm just kidding.
It was the
The
5-star
box?
collection. It's
Yeah.
6
Oh.
discs. It's huge, right? And the version I watched, I think HBH Herman P. Hunter actually saw the same version because it was the one where Will Smith slaps the alien, then screams, "Get my wife's name out your mouth."
I saw that joke. I'm very proud of Herman for that one.
Yes.
Get my wife's name out your mouth.
That's one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie, though, is whenever Will Smith grabs the alien that he's downed.
It's like
Wait,
in
how does
almost
it
every
his
in almost
own
every
armor?
situation, the alien ship opens and people would be like at least cautious, and then the thing comes out and it's freaky looking. No, Straight.
Lovecraftian.
Correct.
Yeah, it's a
Welcome
marine.
to
He
Earth.
punches it.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't shoot it.
Yeah.
I don't think he had a gun though.
The
I
sidearm.
mentioned it.
He still would
went
have
through his
shot
power
himself.
armor.
Yeah.
Went through the alien's power armor. And
Yeah,
everything
he's
in one
essentially
punch.
in power armor, and he punched the power armor. But you're just like, oh, there,
It
that's
works.
hilarious.
It's
Yeah.
like the advanced mind controlling aliens. What's their weakness? My fist. No.
Well, let's talk about that. The alien, the concept of the alien in this was so cool. Like,
Mhm.
like one of the best, honestly. You got aliens that can only communicate through telepathy, essentially, or like, controlling another person's body and
Lovecraft.
forcing them to talk. That already is cool. But and then they're also wearing biosuits. Like, how often do you see biosuits?
Right.
It's
very original.
Like the design is cool, but a friend of mine who like studies biology is like, there are a lot of cool alien designs that are also practical. This design for their biology is not at all practical.
Okay,
that's
let's hear
okay,
the
you
science
freaking
behind how
nerd,
this is
you
not
freaking nerd.
practical.
Well, for like first the head is way
Actually,
First the head is way too big. Like seriously, like they wouldn't be able to function.
this sounds like the same thing when somebody tried to say that drones aren't practical in warfare. Okay, dude.
Who said what moron
We
said
won't get
that?
into it. We won't get into it.
Tell me later.
Yeah.
Drone swarms.
No, it's
Drone swarms. Bad sauce.
drone swarms. Yeah. But
Very expensive.
yes. Like so, I will say, Jeff Goldblum's character, kind of propaganda for a little eco stuff.
Oh,
He's
100.
like-
They're not. Nothing is subtle in this movie at all.
The world's going to hell, but I'm still going to recycle, man.
Well, then he gets drunk. He's like, let's trash the planet. They don't want it anyways.
I love that. Scene. I love that. Scene.
I do what it leads to at the end. He's like, I'm going to do what I've always wanted to do, save the planet. Like,
And
Yeah, it's
Okay,
like, okay,
okay.
yeah.
I'm like,
Did you notice
it's
he was
worth
wearing
like that
mostly
in
that?
this movie is worth it just for that line.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
it's fine.
completely agree. Yeah, because you're on one hand, you're like, oh, okay, but yeah, thematically, like really it works out. Okay.
Also, what
Yeah.
what genius thought about putting Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum as these characters in the same scene? Like it's brilliant.
Okay.
It just works, man.
Enough with the fat lady. You're obsessed with the fat lady. yes. That way. No oops. No oops.
He flips the
his-
post-it
his
note over
dad-
to fly the machine better.
Wait, what do you mean, oops? What do you mean, oops?
Oops. You're the best because you've seen this fly.
I think that a part of the charm of this movie is you were saying all the characters are so likable for the most part. The who is it? The Secretary of Defense or something is kind of a
Oh, he was supposed to be a
Well,
cock, though.
yeah, he's a
you
little bit
don't
of a
need
wiener.
that.
But everybody's very likable, which is rare in modern
Two
cinema.
words.
And then beyond that, the entire planet comes together. Like everybody puts aside all of their differences so that they can
Yeah,
work
imagine the
together to fight this
leaders of
threat. And it's
China,
like, wow.
Russia, and everybody like being like, "Wait, the America? Oh, what was that one country like? Oh, good, finally the Americans have something."
Yeah, that's
Two
very
words.
90s. Very 90s. When
There's
we
no
were
bad guys.
popular.
Like everybody's a
Yeah.
good guy. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
yes,
Except for those filthy aliens.
sure, those filthy, filthy aliens. That's right.
Common enemy.
That's a racism I can get behind.
It's
And actually,
two words,
They are.
plausible
They're aliens. They're not
deniability.
human.
What?
next to
Said-
zombies, aliens are one of the best things to rip through, like in video games and stuff. Demons, aliens, zombies.
Well, wasn't that the original plot from the comic for Watchmen? Is that they have an alien invasion come together, or
That's
come in,
one
so they
giant
all come
squid.
together?
Just one giant squid.
Yeah,
Yeah, it wasn't it created also like it wasn't even a real.
Yeah,
actual-
Ozymandias made it, and
Yeah,
and
I thought
Dr.
so,
Manhattan
yeah.
made it. Yeah,
That is one thing I thought the movie did better. I thought the bomb
Yeah.
idea would
The one
made
thing?
way more sense.
the movie did a lot better. But yeah, anyways,
I
we're
like-
not to get into that.
wrong
I like
movie.
I like how the first lady died twice. That was cool.
Oh yeah,
It was just so we could get the sad
Oh.
scene,
Yeah, they killed
Also, yeah.
which is pro family. So overall, I actually approve. I just think if they would have just pulled the trigger on it the first time, it actually would have made the stakes matter more for the president. Like now, the president is even more of a badass because he lost his wife to these guys, and he's ready for some fucking vengeance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we know that people will actually die. Oh, the first lady died. You know, But anyway.
Well, for camaraderie, man, your president's flying with you. Like you're sure as hell ain't gonna let him down.
Well, lead from the front.
Well, yeah, and there's something else they did in this movie too. It's like a lot of movies try to make you care about millions and crowds of people just being demolished by a tragedy. But this one, maybe they shouldn't have survived. That's a different argument. But having characters that you actually care about in the middle of a disaster zone, mid-disaster, really made those scenes a lot more effective in this movie than they are in most other movies.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, thank God the dog survived. I
remember
watching that as a kid. I remember watching it as a kid, and it's just like you're just like anxiety's going like crazy. You're like, oh no, not the dog, and now you rewatch it, and you're just like, oh, of course the fucking dog.
Well, I didn't remember if the dog actually made it. I was like, there's no way this movie kills a dog.
Dude, it's an epic slow motion shot of the dog like smiling, like, there's a fireball there.
When that scene was up, I was like, "Oh man, babe, you're gonna love this next scene. It's the best scene in the whole movie." And she's like, "What are you talking about? Is the dog gonna live?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, and it's the best scene in the whole goddamn movie." And then right when I said that, she looks back to the screen, and it was right at the moment where he was like jumping in and the explosion. Dude, it is the best scene. To be honest.
You look over at your dog's like, "Cover your eyes. It'll be okay."
They're like,
Well, there's a ton of really good like CGI and models and stuff. We were talking about how good they still look and hold up. It's not perfect, but man, the scene where the alien ships are first entering the atmosphere, it's awesome.
The visuals are
clouds
like
of fire around it and everything.
Yeah.
And whenever the White House gets blown up or the cities, it feels like the city's getting blown up. It doesn't feel like cheap CGI that we're accustomed to.
Oh yeah, and like there's a lot of practical too. Like I know they used some miniatures. They did some really incredible work in regards to scale and really showing you how big this Hurricane thing was.
Yeah, really cool.
One of the best things about it was the epic sweeping shots where it's like just like Will Smith in the foreground and he's looking over the valley and then like the ship is there and the city's destroyed and it's those sweeping shots.
That was wild. It's like you can almost imagine the concept art for that exact like shot. You're like, I know what this would have looked like. That's so cool.
Yeah, and thank God it's all practical. So like it's still. I mean, you can tell it's miniatures, but like, God, I'd much rather look at that than some terrible CGI.
Exactly.
Especially when the miniatures are so good.
Oh yeah,
like really good miniatures with a little bit of effect, and it really works. I was really surprised.
And the scene where the aliens are inside of that lab, or the alien is in the lab, and it comes back to life and starts taking out the different scientists. You could tell it was like a puppet, but it was still pretty intense. I'm watching like, whoa, damn, that alien's really getting that guy. Like he's in the room with them because it was an actual thing in there. And I don't know, it just adds something to it.
I remember seeing that younger. That was a pretty terrifying scene. Like,
it's very scary. Yeah. You're like, I'm just sitting there. I'm like, they're vulnerable. They're vulnerable to a fist. Someone punched the damn thing.
Punching them.
Is the glass bulletproof? No, sir. I'm like, so why isn't he broken through it?
Like, can't be that strong.
It's body great, not bulletproof.
That was great too. They're like, "Is this bulletproof?" He's like, "No," and they're all like,
"Unload on him."
I was like, "Yeah, get him."
Well,
good.
Yeah,
like I always like to compare this movie to another disaster film that came out later. And there's a really big difference between the two, and I think it has to do with a major world, or at least major U.S. event at the time. And that is, I like to compare this movie to War of the Worlds. One is pre 9/11, and the other is post 9/11. And the difference in an alien, big time alien invasion film is shockingly different. The way that it's approached, the way that it's shot, the way that it's seen. One is very patriotic and despite the terror, things are still cool. And the other is horrifying and scary. And there isn't an easy answer at the end. And it's like, maybe it's not related to that, but it does seem like disaster movies changed after that.
Yeah. I mean, there was sensitive. I mean, even today when you hear a joke, it always makes me think back only 10 years ago. And it's like, people still really weren't making 9/11 jokes. Like, that was a sensitive topic for a very long time.
Maybe you weren't.
Yeah, well, But I mean, you see the Twin Towers in the movies too, you know, in this one.
Well, like there's even that Rick and Morty joke. It's like they're recreating disasters like in the alien city, and they're flying. They see two towers. Nope, too soon. Oh.
So let's get to the speech. So we got a movie that I don't even think it's really that debatable. Best movie speech of all time.
It's one of them for
Pretty good.
sure.
Yeah.
What do we have to compete with that?
Lord of the Rings. Like all three movies, basically.
I was gonna say it could be any of them.
Yeah.
I don't know, like which rallying cry from Lord of the Rings would be better than this.
The King Theoden one was really good.
Ride of the Rohirrim, Aragorn's final speech.
Yeah.
They had
I still think this one it's a lot more personable, obviously, than Lord of the Rings. So it just hits so much harder.
Yeah, you're right. It's very
Yeah.
true. It is very personal. Yeah.
They don't really have Independence Day in Lord of the Rings.
Or like when Mel Gibson does the, many years from now, alone in your bed, will you trade all those days for this one chance? Like that gets me going.
Yeah,
So,
Braveheart is.
Yeah.
We've watched a lot of good speech movies recently.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of culture bombs. Every single movie that wins. Like we have to start cleverly picking
All
choices.
very historically accurate as well.
too many
Independence Day.
I remember the alien invasion. I remember it.
He's old enough. He was he was there.
I was there. I was one of the pilots.
I saw him fly into that freaking. So I saw him fly into that spaceship's nipple. I saw it. I was there.
Ladies
Dude,
and gentlemen.
that scene was perfect.
Oh,
I mean,
predictable in a like very predictable, but that didn't lessen its impact at all. It was so good, dude.
just because you see something coming, and this is for anybody writing, like that doesn't mean they should. Oh, just because it's predictable. It's like, yeah, sometimes the predictable thing is the best thing.
It's a payoff.
Yeah, payoff.
Part of what we're signing up for. Yeah.
Yeah, and like everything he was
Very
saying
good,
is
very
like, I'm back.
Dude, it's so good. Like, and that like he doesn't even he doesn't really hesitate either. He just he sees the missile malfunctions. He looks at the picture of his kids. He's like, oh well, this is happening.
I wonder if
King Bob.
they said, "Hey,
the speech from V on V for Vendetta." Holy shit, he's right. That is a very good speech. Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
Ooh,
Anytime V in that movie speaks is I would consider that a worthy moment.
So after he crashes into the heart of the ship, and they're like, "Hey, send the word how to kill the ship." Are the other countries ramming airplanes into the heart, or are they figuring something else out?
And yeah, every single one of them had one ship with one missile that malfunctioned. Every single one of them had a country bumpkin flying a jet craft flying.
It's like it's Stoya.
Except for Japan.
Man had plenty of airplanes that crashed into that nipple.
So
Middle East is already on. We already did it.
They got the dynamite on in the cockpit. Here we go.
Oh wait,
You guys are just figuring it out. We had this figured out. We just didn't call you yet.
I forgot about another good speech. Jar Jar Binks in Return in Star Wars. Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah. Oh, the Republic.
All right.
So what are your guys' going around one by one? What are your guys' best guess on how the alien super weapon works? I personally think it's igniting the air, because how else would you get a very slow shockwave kind of cascading out in every direction?
I don't know if they put that much thought into it.
I definitely didn't.
I don't know.
It just worked.
Frankly, I didn't think about it very much. I didn't think about it hard. I saw explosion. I think America needs this weapon for peace.
Explosion, a lot of fire. Let's go.
I treat it kind of like the atomic breath from Godzilla. Like it doesn't, like it only works like half the time. It doesn't make sense, but you're like, it's cool.
It's like the Death Star on one generator. I think Rogue One that slowly kills the planet.
Oh,
Get me started.
better than the Force Awakens. Hey, remember that one that can shoot a beam from the sun that can split off halfway through for reasons.
Let's just not like. Oh man, it's like I mean, how many?
You're gonna wake the dragon.
Don't think about that movie.
Like, I can't be the only one that thought that Force Awakens was good when we first saw it, and then it's just like you revisit it after just being.
I liked it at first, but I liked it at first. If the next movie had been good, I still would like Force Awakens.
I liked it the way I like warm Gatorade when I'm hungover. I hate Gatorade. When you're hungover, it's good.
And I'm hungover every day. No.
Independence Day. Independence Day. What's up,
I like how the president is like, I claim this for the world. It's like, oh, like not one country is like, F it. Yeah, like he's the president. Let them do their. Yeah, why not?
Oh no, my favorite part is they're like, no, I don't want to nuke. We have to get the people out of there or whatever. It's like, dude, the people are already out of there. They nuked it.
He's
they nuked it. That means you could send a nuke.
He had a feeling though. He knew that nuke wasn't going to work.
Yeah. I think it would have been funny though if he was like, is the target still there? And like, or did we blow it up? And the guy's like, negative. If he was like, send 2 nukes, and they just keep like ramping up.
If you try we're going increments. It's 1, then 2, then it's 5. After that, we'll have to negotiate.
It's great.
I mean, you're not wrong. Did the first nuke take the laser shield out for a while? Like, does it need to reset and recharge like in Star Trek or something?
Well, it has to charge up to shoot in the first place.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's got a bunch of aliens in there on like those bicycles to charge it. They gotta like get it going.
They got like
that's what that army in there was for. They were all just on like stomping machines, creating kinetic energy.
That's right. One thing about this movie I love too, and it's true of a lot of '90s action movies, and this is something that I praised McCoppin for before in his books, is that it's not just super serious the whole time. You get these different aspects of how people would react in these situations, and some of it's harrowing, but some people are cracking jokes, and some people in the situation, like Readout pointed out, whenever they're Goldblum and Smith are sitting up in the alien plane and they're staring at the Queen, and they're like, well, I guess we'll light up these cigars and stuff, and you get all that, and the dad cracking jokes. Cracking me up too. He's talking about the revelation that we had the aliens back in the 50s, and he's like, you guys had all this stuff, and the dad's
I do love that the president didn't know. He's like, we've never encountered aliens before. We've never had them in our possession. That's not exactly true.
It's not Area 51.
I like that they didn't offer that up the moment that the aliens showed up in force.
Right.
Well, then you have
that's the only part of this movie where I'm like, why would you not? Like, this is your chance. This is a time when you're not keeping secrets anymore.
I love the dad when he's in there and they reveal that he says, "What, you think they're spending $20,000 on a hammer and $30,000 on a toilet seat?" And I'm like, that is. Where is that money going?
Actually, that's about right. Actually, I've done prevailing wage work. The guy who hammers in the nails cannot go and grab the nails. There's a guy who can specifically bring tools but not use. It's a bullshit system, dude. It's so
what happens is,
and there is. Prices like that. That's an actual thing that just came out recently
that's
too.
That's why it cracked me up.
Yeah, it's super relevant.
Yeah.
As a contractor who does government work, I can't say too much, but yeah.
No.
You know I'm right.
My book is $1,000
based. It's like, no, the curing machine's not enough. We need the $3,000 cappuccino machine. This is just a one-man. This is a work truck. What do you mean?
Yeah. Oh man.
I cannot work in these conditions.
But I think we get to our decision. I don't think it's any surprise.
America.
Wait, I got a surprise.
America.
I got my shirt, and I've got my pants, patriotic pants.
Whoa, he's flashing us. We can't see it. We can't see it.
I like your invisible pants.
And I was gonna break out my short. I got American flag shorts too.
Well, the only way to get them on camera is to remove them from the butt. So,
Yeah.
But great movie. I might have been sour at first of it winning. Kind of want to switch it up from the norm like I normally do. But I'm damn glad that won. So good.
Hey, you've already gotten your freebie movie. I don't want to hear it.
So I thought it was a good example of actual representation with a group of people that are trying to be successful, if that makes sense. They're not trying to burn money, they're trying to make money. So they have actual, like, one of the lead actors is Will Smith. Everybody can get behind him. That's another more for like the POCs in the movie, you know what I mean? Even the there was gay
the whole spectrum. Like the black guy's marrying a stripper, the Jewish guy's best friend's gay.
Yes.
The whole spectrum's covered.
I forgot about that.
The Jewish father doesn't pray to God anymore. That's not common.
Oh my God! What do I do? You get that crazy smoker voice.
Dude, that guy. That guy's voice was ridiculous.
I love that guy. Awesome.
Like, oh my God!
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
It's checkmate. Game over.
You just watched a clip from the Iron Seas podcast. Make sure to like this, subscribe, it helps us out a little bit. And please catch the show live at 9:30 Eastern every Tuesday.